the next step in the process is going to be consolidating the rotted areas of the wood on the window. And in order to do that, we're going to really want to, number one, identify the areas that are rotted, and then number two, we're going to drill some holes so that we can access all the rotted areas of the wood. We're going to actually consolidate it all back together with a liquid epoxy. So we're going to drill some holes right now so that the liquid can penetrate in and solidify any areas that have deteriorated and are spongy or soft or just showing signs of decay. So I'm going to drill holes every couple inches, just kind of scatter them around so that the liquid has a good entry point in order to saturate the rotted areas. Okay, the next step in the process is going to be the actual application of our epoxy wood hardener, which in this case is called liquid wood. This is actually going to soak down into the rotted, spongy, soft wood fibers and consolidate all that rotted material, anything that's soft or a little bit loose. It's going to consolidate it all back together, forming one large structural mass. So this is, it's going to harden and protect the wood and really seal it and waterproof it and bug-proof it moving forward. So our liquid wood product is real easy to use. It's a 1-to-1 two-part epoxy. We're going to mix equal portions of part A and part B together. And it's important that this is completely mixed. You don't want any streaks of the part A or streaks of the part B showing. You want to scrape the sides of the container that you're mixing the product in and make sure that it's completely and thoroughly mixed prior to applying it to the wood. The product itself is it's a temperature sensitive product, so you want to be using this product above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And the amount that you mix, you only want to mix the amount that you can use in about 30 to 45 minutes. The pot life is about 30 to 45 minutes, so if you're doing a large job or if you have a lot of windows or a large area to apply the product to, you want to work in relatively small batches. Otherwise the product generates heat and you won't have as much time to work with it. So smaller batches last longer and work relatively quickly once you've got the product mixed up. You also want to take into account an induction period. It's a chemical reaction that's taking place between part A and part B, and the products really need to begin reacting prior to just brushing or slapping this onto the wood. So once the two parts are mixed up, we're actually going to let the product sit for about 5 to 10 minutes and begin reacting. And now we've actually transferred it into a little applicator bottle. This is going to make it easy to inject the product into the holes that we just drilled so that we can saturate the rotted areas of wood. And again, now the idea is to consolidate any areas that are rotted and really harden the wood. So we're going to apply the liquid wood multiple times, essentially to the point of saturation. So we really want to saturate any rotted areas. So we're going to do multiple applications of the liquid wood. So we're going to apply the liquid wood, let it sit, let it soak into the wood for 2 or 3 minutes. Then we're going to come back and do another application of the liquid wood up until the point where the product becomes really shiny or glossy. That's how we'll be able to really tell that the wood is saturated. Once we fill up our holes, we'll actually come back with a little brush as well. We're going to brush it onto the wood, especially the areas that are showing signs of sponginess or rot. we're really trying to saturate all of the rotted areas of wood. So we've lifted the window up now so that we can kind of use gravity and let the liquid wood move down the grain of the wood. So we're really accessing these pockets of rot. We're going to really saturate these areas that are spongy and loose and falling apart. The next step is going to be actually filling in and rebuilding the missing sections of wood. And for that, we're using Abitron's product called Wood Epox. Wood Epox is a lightweight 2-part epoxy paste. It's real easy to use. It's a 1-to-1 mix, so I've measured out equal portions of part A and part B. We're going to combine those 2 parts together to create our wood filler. It's a real light, soft material, and I'm just going to combine it in my hands and knead it together like bread dough until it's all a uniform color. You want to make sure there's no streaks of white or brown in the product. It doesn't take long. It's real soft. It's easy to manage. And you just work it on top of itself until it's all uniform. You'll actually feel it start to warm up a little bit. It'll become a uniform light beige color. Okay, once the wood epoxy is all mixed up, this becomes your wood filler. So you're going to press this into any open cavities or the holes. If there's any space left in the holes that you drilled, you're going to fill all these in with the wood epoxy. And you'll notice we've actually placed some wooden dowels into this corner for added support at that joint. We're going to surround those and encapsulate those with the wood epoxy. You'll also notice that we're working on top of a sheet of plastic so that the epoxy won't stick to the area that we're working on. So this is going to become our wood filler, and we're going to build this up and fill in the cavity using the wood epoxy.